Two Worlds, One Family by Dragon Translator. Chapter 59. In the Shadow of the Guardian.
We have to go, Toothless said, looking up at Stoic. Hiccup is our alpha. The human male Elder Gita said is after him is still alive. We have to protect him.
Hiccup watched his father look down and place a hand on top of Toothless's head.
I appreciate that, Toothless, Stoic said softly. Yeah, and the other dragons keep my boys safe. And for that, you have my gratitude. You still can't come. I can keep him safe for this short trip, and none of you will fit in the boat.
I could,
Sharpshot said. Aye, you could, Stoic said. But you ain't. This is something between Hiccup and I, boys.
With that, Stoic turned to finish stowing some supplies into one of the 5 two-men boats tied to the docks. They were for teaching children to fish, for fathers to take their sons out for talks when privacy was needed, or to go and aid ships that ran aground on any of the sea stacks near to the harbour. A common enough occurrence in the first part of spring, when the warming air still met the cold sea.
Hiccup,
Toothless said, turning to face him. Hiccup sighed. He reached over, running a hand along the top of Toothless's head.
I'm sorry, brother, he said softly. Dad is right. Besides, you and Sharpshot can wait on the docks. We aren't going that far out, or for that long. Dad'll have to take the island and tribe back from me, and go and speak to the council before the day ends. Here on the docks is not out there protecting you, brother, Toothless grumbled.
Stoic sighed and moved over.
Son, get aboard, he said.
Hiccup nodded, and with one last scratch for Toothless and Sharpshot, he did as his father asked. He looked back, noting his father kneeling in front of Toothless, and speaking low, soft tones to both dragons. The other sounds present in the busy harbour prevented Hiccup from hearing his father's words, but whatever he said must have mollified the pair, because they nodded their heads. Hiccup looked up at the cliff, spying Astrid, Stormfly, Windwalker, and Sneaky watching from a landing that let the winding walkways make a turn as it travelled up the rock face. Hiccup knew she was less than enthused about this as well. She did not mind him spending time with his father. Both of them knew he and Stoic needed to do so, but she also did not want him going far. At least not where she could not go as well. She, like Toothless and Sharpshot, wanted to keep him safe. Hiccup looked away, as those feelings rushed him again. He sighed. He forgot to ask Gothi with his worry over that terror. He turned as his father boarded the boat. Maybe he could ask his father. The man had been through a courtship. Surely he would know if what Hiccup was feeling would annoy Astrid enough that she left him. And if so, he might know how Hiccup could get rid of the feelings before that happened. Bucket gave them the push-off, and Stoic manned the oars. Hiccup sat down and watched the island slowly recede. Stoic rowed until they were in the shadow of one of the guardians. He sent the small anchor over the side and stowed the oars before handing Hiccup his fishing rod. They baited their hooks and dropped the weighted lines over the side, away from the anchor line. Silence reigned for several heartbeats. Dad!
Son!
They both looked at each other and broke the silence at the same time. Stoic smiled.
You first, son.
No, you go.
I went first last time, son. It's your turn.
Hiccup blinked. He tilted his head when his father winked at him. Hiccup nodded, though he was happy his father could poke fun at the last time they had tried to let the other speak first. Hiccup then frowned, taking a deep breath and looking at his boot. Something's wrong with me.
Why do you believe this, son?
Hiccup's grip upon the fishing rod tightened. His eyes closed as he hissed. Astrid kissed me, and since then I can't focus.
Son, you'll have to explain more than that. Most women make their men lose focus when they kiss them. 'Tis the power of women.
Hiccup stared at his father.
A girl. Snotlout found a girl in a boat crashed against a sea stag out east of the island. When she woke, she tried to flirt with me. Spoke nice, thanked me for letting her stay, thanked me for going to see if we could find her parents. It all felt wrong to me. She wasn't Astrid. When we couldn't find her parents or any debris from her attacked ship, I sent her back to Berk with Gita and Snotlout. The other teens left soon after. Except Astrid. She kissed me and...
Hiccup felt his cheeks warm, and he lowered his gaze to his boot again.
Was this kiss different than any others she gave you?
Stoic asked softly.
Yes, Hiccup said.
She... He sighed. How did he explain it to his father without dying of embarrassment?
It's okay, son. You don't have to explain more. I understand.
Hiccup looked up, finding his father staring at the water, with a look in his eyes that said he did not see the waves, but saw something in his past. Hiccup hissed again. This was a bad idea. It was making his father think of his mother.
I'm sorry, Dad, he said. I shouldn't have said anything. No, son, Stoic said, turning to face him. I want to know. I'm your father. I'm supposed to help you.
Stoic sighed.
And I have much to make up for, and too much time already lost to my own stupidity. But you're remembering Mum. Son, not a day goes by that I don't think of your mother.
Stoic was silent for a long moment. Then he took a breath.
So, Astrid kissed you, silly?
Hiccup's nose crinkled at the term. I guess, he said finally. She seemed happy that I didn't do what Snotlout, Fishlegs and Toughnut did.
What did they do?
Crowded Heather, offered her water vessels and trying to keep the others from offering theirs. Stoic's eyebrow lifted.
You didn't?
I didn't see the reason for the fuss. Flemmer was letting Heather stay with her. If she wanted water, I'm sure Flemmer already gave her some.
And this Heather spoke nice to you?
It felt weird and made the hairs on the back of my neck rise, like someone was about to hit me and I'd better watch out.
You said you didn't respond to this girl.
She's not Astrid, Hiccup said firmly. She doesn't even compare.
Stoic smiled. Good lad.
Hiccup frowned. But something is wrong, Dad. We found out Heather's parents were taken by Alvin, and he was forcing her to come here, act nice, then steal a dragon and the Book of Dragons. Astrid... Hiccup had to pause, and then force his tongue to finish the sentence, even though it went dry at the memory. Astrid suggested we give Alvin what he wanted. She planned to put charcoal in her hair, and look like Heather enough to go to Outcast Island, and free Heather's family. Stoic tilted his head.
You were okay with this?
Hiccup hissed. It had to happen. I didn't like it. I wanted to keep Astrid in the house and bolt the door. But I can't stop her from fighting and defending the island, Dad. I can't change her. I don't want to. She's Astrid. He looked down at his boot again. We went in the house. I had to hold her. I had to reassure myself that she wasn't gonna be hurt, even if we hadn't gone yet. Hiccup cleared his throat, feeling his cheeks and ears warm. She had me sit in your chair, and sit in my lap so Gita could sit in mine as we planned the rescue.
Why was Gita into planning?
She was going with Astrid. She said she would give her life as payment if Astrid came back armed.
Ah, good.
Hiccup looked up at his father. I know you don't want her telling us what she knows, but I had to ask her, Dad. I had to know if the tale she knows showed Outcast Island.
I wanted as few unknowns as possible. Sensible, Stoic said. Did she have the information for you?
Hiccup blinked.
She did, but Dad, you didn't want her to tell you who tore up the Great Hall. Stoic sighed. I know I can't stop her from telling all she knows, son. Besides, you were planning something where harm and death could be a possibility. No chief turns away information on an enemy's layout. Telling me who was guilty of destroying a building isn't life or death, as a rescue mission on enemy soil.
Hiccup tilted his head.
She said the tale only showed the dragon arena. She also said everything was different than the tale she knew, and told us the differences. They were. In the tale she knows, the dragons can't talk to us, and Heather befriended Stormfly and took her. We got her back, but we got way too close to the island. Oh, I see. I'm guessing Toothless was in this planning session? What did he have to say? Stormfly was in there too. She eased her way into the house, because she wanted to stay near Astrid. She said she would never let Heather on her back. Gita told her Heather bribed her with chicken. Stormfly said she would only take that from Astrid or myself.
Hiccup turned away, his cheeks flaming again.
That's... Astrid let her head fall back so she could ask Stormfly a question. I got distracted. I wanted to kiss her neck. He stared at his father. Dad, why? What's wrong with me? Why can't I go back to the Hiccup I was before that kiss on the sea stag? Astrid said nothing's wrong, but I don't know what I'm feeling, and I'm getting distracted, and... Dad, I know I'm going to annoy Astrid, and I don't want to. Please, tell me how to get rid of these feelings. I don't want to lose Astrid. Nothing's wrong, son. But... Hiccup, nothing is wrong with you. Stoic sighed. Oh, I'm sorry, son. This is my fault. No, Dad. I'm the one who has something wrong with him. Hiccup.
Hiccup jumped. Stoic's tone was the same as the night he shot down Toothless. End of chapter. Hi guys, hope you enjoyed that one. God, they needed to get that out, I think. And it's only halfway done. God, I feel sorry for Hiccup. I just want to give him a hug. The poor boy doesn't even know that he's in love. I mean, yeah. When you're new to those feelings, I'm not surprised there's confusion. And Stoic hearing all that, knowing how badly he failed his and Valka's boy. God, that's hard for both of them. But because these thoughts have been spinning around in his head, I think Hiccup needed to get that out. One of the reasons I love this channel so much, apart from you guys and the stories of course, is the fact that I get to vent. I don't always say my own issues. I share enough with you guys that I'm comfortable with and feel safe putting online. But it's really good for me. If I've had a stressful day at work, I do a Game of Thrones battle chapter. Swearing in all my funny voices really helps with stress relief. Anyway, you guys know the drill. Like, comment and subscribe and hit that bell to get notified whenever I upload a new video. Have a good day, night, or whatever time zone you're in. Bye my guys, gals and non-binary pals. I'll see you in another video. Take care.